All right, it's time to build another bench. Got a request for another bench. 3 foot long, 3 foot tall, and about nine and a half wide deep. So this is the 2x6. I bought two of them. I'll go ahead and measure this one 3 foot long. I'll cut it, of course. And then the legs are going to be same type of board. I got another one sitting on the floor down there, 2x6. Well, actually, it's a two by six by 10. Both of these are 2x6 by 10, so I can get the 9.5 out of these. Um, Fixing to make this bench. I've made don't know how many of them, but I made a bunch of them. So this one's going to be stained also in Jacobine like the rest of them I made. So I'm getting ready to get started now. Going to measure my 3 foot, take it to the miter saw, sliding saw, and cut it. And then I'll sand it real well, get the legs at the 10-degree angles, and then I'll show you what that looks like. But I made a million of these videos, so you've probably seen them, all of them, pretty much. But time to get started. All right, that's one leg cut right there. As you can see, I got my sliding saw, miter saw, at a 10-degree angle on the chart on the ruler back there. So I'll go ahead and I'll cut these 10 degrees right here. Thank goodness this thing has a light on it. So I'll cut these at 10-degree angles, opposite ways. That will create the tilt in the leg on each side. So gonna do that now. I got to cut another leg. You think this is gonna be a pretty tall table for 3 foot tall? It seemed like it would be, but it's usually taller than I make them. I usually make them 23 inches. All right, on these legs, I'm sanding them right now, but I came across this area here that's got a split in it. Not really a split, but a divot. I think I'm not really sure what it came from, but putty. And because this thing's gonna be Jacobine brown, I got the putty to match, which is actually a walnut, but it matches because you don't want, the darker the putty is, the better the stain goes on and covers up the color. So I mean, you can use any color, but the darker the better. If you're using that color stain, better to use the darker putty. So I'll fill in this crack here, or this divot. Then I'm gonna run back over it with the sander, with a 140 grit sanding paper. Get this thing smoothed out. All right, got that putty filled in there. Now it's a nice flat surface. The brown walnut putty, brown in color. Now sanded over it with the 140 grit sandpaper, and it just smoothed it out. So what'll happen now, when I get ready to stain over it, you won't even see that. So that'll be completely covered, those two divots that were in the wood right there, pretty deep. But it handles that. All right, next step is this is the leg that's going to attach to the tabletop. The next step I'm doing now is I'm going to drill with my pocket hole jig. I'm going to drill down, put 4 pocket holes in here that's going to hold the bottom of the top of the table leg to the bottom of the tabletop. So I always use pocket holes for these, 1/4 inch pocket holes, 1/4 inch pocket holes, and they always are pretty strong. I don't have to put any more screws or anything in. You see where the stain is still, where the putty's still holding through. So I'm going to do that now. I'll put 4 in each leg. That way when I turn the tabletop, I turn it upside down, attach these to the tabletop, and pretty much get ready to build the middle shelf that goes on toward the bottom. All right, and here's the middle shelf that's going to go, well, let me see. It's going to go somewhat like this right here. Just wedge up in between there on each side to get the markings. This is the middle shelf, so it's going to look something like that there. It's laying on the side, of course. The legs are attached by pocket holes at the top or the bottom of the bench top. There again. After you see the pocket holes, I had to use putty because I ran out of plugs. The plugs I'll trim down with the saw. This side I ran out also, but had 3 plug stoppers available, and I had to use putty for the rest. So I'll sand over that, like I said, just like for the other part. I talked about it a minute ago, all smoothing out, but I'll also use pocket holes on the bottom of these to join these 2 boards, the leg and the bottom shelf. And then once I get those attached, it'll be ready to pre-stain and paint and stain Jacobine, not paint it, but stain Jacobine.